There we go. We're live. Hello, 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 everybody. Let's go ahead and have this massive, serious conversation. Would you like to talk about it first, or shall I talk
Um,
about
you go. You can go first.
it? As people who are in media, let's just put it on the line. Um, Don Lemon has been arrested.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's dig deep. Let's talk about it. Um, and I'm literally not at a loss for words. I'm trying to be careful with my words. And
I'm not going to be careful. This is fucked up.
it is.
I'm
You
not
gotta
going to
be.
be careful. This, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Let's talk about what we do know first. And I can see the emotion, and it's okay. Let's talk about this and what we do know. Okay, so number one, the first thing that we do know is that Don Lemon of the Lemon Nation, independent journalist, we know that he had been with CNN for several years, was arrested early this morning in connection with an incident that actually occurred in which anti-ICE protesters disrupted a service at a Minnesota church. Now, that's according to Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Can we just can we just clarify why they were interrupting service at that church?
Oh, absolutely. Please.
Because
Yeah.
the pastor is a fucking ICE agent.
And had been doing what?
So, telling on his parishioners and his neighbors and arresting them and disappearing them quickly through the Minneapolis airport. So it wasn't just like any church.
Right.
It was because the pastor, who's supposed to love his neighbor without condition, the fucking ICE agent.
Yep.
Okay.
An ICE agent. So for those of you all who are just now joining us, we have the most impassioned Heather Asiyanbi next to me over here. And this is the Rivalry Report. We are both media. She has been a journalist for how many years, ma'am?
30
years. And I have been in media. Also, I don't call myself a journalist, honey, but baby, listen, I guess I am. And I've been in media for about 35 years. So this is unprecedented for people like us that report the news, that have been that have had a career in media and as journalists and reporters. This is super important, and we wanted to make sure that we were live to share this information with you all. I'm also live on TikTok as well. I wanted to make sure that we were sharing this information with as many people as possible. I told Heather we need to talk live. Like, there's no time like the present to talk about this. Go ahead and like, comment, share, and let other people know that we are here. We're talking about it. So once again, Don Lemon, independent journalist of the Lemon Nation and the Don Lemon Show, has been arrested this morning. He was actually in Los Angeles to cover the Grammy Awards. So that's what he was there for. And so what we want to do is to kind of cover just a little bit about what we do know and kind of dispel some of those myths. And Heather, I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. I also want to share a loving letter that I received from someone who saw my video this morning when I first broke the news and literally gave me a scathing and ugly response.
Is that the one you sent to me?
That's the one that I sent to you. It was absolutely beautiful. And I want to make sure that we share that with people and kind of dispel a lot of the myths. I'm not going to be sharing names. That's not who I am. But what I will be, and then they deleted it because they knew that they were out of order.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
People make comments in public forums with their real names get used.
Oh, Heather said it, not me.
That is the end. So use her name.
Hey, good morning, Wishak. We'll be using her name then. Okay, so she quickly deleted it and realized what she was getting ready to do. Well, anyway, all right. So we are back again, and we're talking about Don Lemon and what has just transpired and what we do know. So let me go back to some of the information that I've been able to pull. Now, here's something else for folks. So here's what you need to know. Number one, I saw the video. where he was interviewing people in the street, and one of them was like, "We're getting ready to go over to da 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 da. You want to come?"
Yeah, he wasn't even. Yeah, he was doing his job.
He was doing his job, folks. That's what he does. Now, let's go even further, people, because of course you all know that we have to do our due diligence, because people believe anything that this current administration says,
despite what their eyes, in spite of what their eyes and their ears tell them differently.
Correct. Yes. So here's what we know, and I always like to do this because I think it's important for us to understand exactly why this is important. First of all, let's talk about the prosecution's argument. Lemon's physical presence plus live streaming plus interviews equals involvement. Yeah. Now that involvement allegedly contributed to disruption of religious worship. Come on, Heather. Come on. I know it's okay.
So the reason, for those of you who might be like, well, if he was there and disrupting, what's the problem? Well, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Freedom of the press, First Amendment, protects journalists from being present at active situations and just recording what's happening in the moment.
Yes.
We're not the participant. We are I hate to use reporter because that's not really we're like the archivist.
Yes.
Right? So we are recording, whether it's through words, video, audio, whatever. We're recording the moment.
Yes.
To be preserved.
Yes.
For, posterity, historical accuracy,
absolutely,
further analysis, like whatever you want. That's what our job is. So to be targeted, and for Bondi to have found a grand jury to indict him is astounding to me.
It is absolutely astounding. Yeah.
I am shook in the ways that people might be like, oh, are you afraid?
Far from that. We're not scared.
It makes us want to go harder.
That part.
Yes. I will be as present as possible at every live thing that I can be, because I will not allow this administration and their slave patrol tactics to intimidate me from doing my job.
Yeah. That's that part. So let's talk about what Heather just said. Okay. Thank you for that, because it digs me right into one of the things that we need to understand about our Constitution. And this is for all of the folks who say, well, he didn't have any business ever there, and so forth and so on. First Amendment explicitly guarantees. You know what the First Amendment is, folks? It is a part of the Constitution. It says Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. So this protection literally exists, not just for journalists as individuals, but for the public's right to know. Did you hear what I said? It is for the public's right to know. So this is twofold. One, this is an agenda for Don Lemon. Let's be clear.
He's been targeted. They were very verbal about it.
Absolutely. So they were looking for a quote unquote slip up. The second thing is that we need you guys to understand that they have already proven that they want to create the narrative, right? So we're talking about Renee Good. We're talking about Keith Porter. We're talking about the young man, Pretty, that just lost his life. And so when we're talking about this, we're also talking about the fact that these people are literally rewriting what our eyeballs already saw, and they want us to believe what they say. And if you say it long enough, you'll believe it.
Well, and so here's
the context. Go ahead.
You and I have talked about this before.
Yep, we have.
Not so much that they're lying and they expect us to believe their lies. They're lying so much that it gets us to believe that everyone else is lying.
Right. That part.
That's the crux of it, right? That's that's the overall goal. They don't want us to believe what we see, believe what we hear, believe what our neighbor tells us.
Yep.
You know, they don't
what
want
we
us
saw,
to
what we
believe any of that.
witnessed. Right.
You know,
And
they
so
want, they know they're lying. They know they're fucking lying.
Know. Oh
they
my
know
God.
they're lying.
They know it.
And but it's all part of the 2025 playbook to disrupt our community and our ability to trust one another so that we will end up telling on each other, right? That's what they want. And what's happening in Minneapolis is proving them wrong.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
that is some tactical community organizing on the most casual level, and it is working.
It's working. And here's the thing. The Supreme Court has repeatedly ruled, listen up close, folks, news gathering is protected activity. Okay. He repeatedly said that he was reporting on what was happening. Recording does matter because it's a public concern, folks, and it's protected speech. Journalism does not lose constitutional protection because it occurs in controversial, chaotic, or disruptive environments. These people
the church is not like the church is sanctuary for certain things. Like, well, I mean, it used to be, but
not
like
anymore.
You'll run into church and be like, "This is sanctuary. You can't come get me here," and that's been blown out of the water.
Right.
Which I'm not. Okay, that's a whole nother topic. But it is not. It is not a protected location from freedom of the press.
It's not.
Or freedom for the press. You know, it's just not.
Yeah. And so here's where I have my concern, because this is done on purpose and it's done so blatantly loud because they're trying to scare the rest of us who are doing journalistic work. It's to shut us up.
Ever like met a journalist, like a real
No, clearly they haven't.
A single journalist who's going to be like, "Ooh, I can't go there. I can't do that." They're all going to be like, "Let me go."
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what's interesting is somebody on TikTok just said they don't seem to care when the churches get shot up.
Oh, thank you.
You can't find anybody then. You can't find a judge, like the old folks say. You can't find a judge then. But all of a sudden, you have a grand jury that has signed off on this man being picked up. And what they don't understand is that here's the slippery slope. I gotta bring this in because, of course, you know I took notes. Church protests, journalist arrests, immigration raids, journalist arrests, police operation, journalist arrests, labor strikes, journalist arrests. That's because the issue is that journalists are the storytellers. They're the historians in real time. Yes. We saw what happened in Gaza. We saw it. Our journalistic brothers and sisters literally losing it. And we're not even going to talk about how they're literally permanently banning some people's complete accounts on social media, not realizing that they're everywhere. So if you shut them up over here, they're just going to keep right on talking over there. But I think this is so unprecedented that this current administration would take out so much time, so much energy to go
money. These things don't cost anything.
Right. They cost us money. Us. I said not the government.
Us. It's our money.
It's our money. Yes, absolutely. And the unfortunate part about all of this is that, number one, it's fortunate and unfortunate, because now what they're trying to do is make a quote unquote example out of this guy. Right. And so his attorney has literally said what, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that up as well. His attorney said that last week that the magistrate judge rejected charges against Lemon. That's number one. And a source told ABC News that Bondi last week was literally enraged at the magistrate judge's decision to not charge the journalist. Now, two other people in connection with this particular event were also arrested. But Lemon, again, was taken into custody. For those of you all who are just now joining, this is the Rivalry Report with myself and my dear loving co-host, passionate co-host, Heather Asiyanbi. Go ahead with your side of this take, because I need to calm down.
Okay, so the reason why Paulette and I are super fired up about this is, number one, we're both independent journalists. I'm also a journalist with an organization. I've been a journalist for 30 years. I have never seen the government go after a journalist in this way. And this is why it's really kind of important. So the First Amendment, pardon me?
Oh, nothing. That's TikTok.
Oh, I was like, what is that noise? Okay, sorry. Anyway, so the First Amendment does protect the press, right? And courts have historically supported that. Now, there have been carve-outs, right? So if like journalists are involved in inciting an incident, violence or whatever, if they're providing material support or they have direct interference. So like, let's say Paulette and I are at an ICE protest, right? And we get in the, we put ourselves between a protester and an ICE agent.
Right.
That's kind of a gray line right there, right? But overall, in this particular case, what Don Lemon was doing was simply observing and recording.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't storming up to the altar and interrupting service. He wasn't, you know, getting in people's faces. He wasn't doing any of that. And so how this particular line gets drawn right now is going to matter more for independent journalists, photojournalists, live streamers, you know, for covering protests, demonstrations, and any civil unrest. Because as we've seen, even members of corporate media who have their big old vests on that say media in bright yellow letters are bright yellow letters. You can't miss that. It says media, right? It's not those Timu vests that the agents are wearing. But so when members of corporate media are being, you know, shoved to the ground and their cameras taken and, you know, whatever ripped out of their hands, what do you think that's going to do to those of us who are independent and we're there to provide coverage on in the moment, real time situations, right? That's going to strip every protection away.
Absolutely, yes.
It will strip every protection away.
Everything.
And another, and Don Lemon, while he is now an independent journalist, you know, he was with CNN, but he remains high profile.
High profile, absolutely, yes.
He is high profile with a national audience, right?
Yes.
But too many independent journalists like us, we have fewer resources, right?
Absolutely.
So if the government's theory holds on what they're saying, smaller outlets and independent freelance journalists will be especially vulnerable.
Absolutely, yes.
To similar prosecutions. And that should strike an icicle dagger of fear into the heart of everyone.
It really should.
Not just journalists, but regular Americans, because democracy dies in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, the thing that really gets me, and I have to always go back to the information that I have here, because of course I had to really dig deep on all of this, because I'm trying my best to not get in my feelings about it. But then Heather, I'm going to also say this. So I said, well, you know, some of the people all of the time literally have been, sorry, slightly distracted. Hang on just a second. Let me pull this up.
I love Amy.
All right, so actually, hold on. Donna Best Buff. Let's go there. Yeah, I just called out her name. Actually, he wasn't just covering the people who walked into the church. She was part of the group who walked into the church. Not only did he just walked into the church in record. I don't understand what she's talking about. I'm reading it verbatim.
Okay, read it verbatim. Just read it.
Actually, he wasn't just covering the people who walked into the church. She was part of the group who walked into the church. Not only did he just walked into the church in record. He belittled the people. They were kids shaking in their seats. Elderly were crying. He was pointing at them, calling them white supremacists. It was disgusting. It was evil, evil, evil. And if you didn't see the devil, honey, then you ain't it. A woman of God. Let me tell you something. The devil was present in that church, and his name was Don Lemon. He got what he deserved because there's something called the FACE Act. I don't know if you know what that is, but look it up. That's a law. Child. That's a law. And he wasn't just a reporter. He was part of the group that went in. He wasn't just covering it. He was a part of it. He took participation in the harassment of an ongoing church service, scared the people. Basically, they held them hostage there. It was disgusting. May he rest in jail and rest in hell. He's a pedophile too.
Oh my God. Here we go.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Maybe you don't like, he likes little boys of all colors. And then she deleted it. But baby. Okay.
Can
Big
we?
Mama,
Okay. I'm sorry. I could take your rants more seriously if you could fucking spell.
That part.
Okay.
So let's
spell. So I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And then you use deliberately triggering phrases attached to a man you know is gay.
That part.
You know,
seriously. Yeah.
I'm sorry. And who is this person who posted this? What's her name?
This person who understood that they was getting ready to get called out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Donna Best Buff. She's on Facebook. And she deleted her comments. So I was like, oh, she trying to delete it. Hold on, screenshot. Yeah, we go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. So let's I want to tear this apart just a little bit. Number one, because that's the running thing that we've been hearing. Number one, what is the law on disruptions of religious worship? Most U.S. states and federal civil rights statuses prohibit intentional interference with religious services. Now, at the federal level, this is mainly governed by 18 U.S. Code 247. Damage to religious property, obstruction of persons in the free exercise of religious beliefs. Now, this law criminalizes intentional disruption, intimidation, or interference with persons lawfully exercising religious worship. Key legal elements prosecutors have to prove: intent, direct interference, knowing participation, and purposeful disruption. Simply being present, folks, listen to me, is not sufficient under longstanding constitutional interpretation. Because again, he clearly stated over and again that he was there to report.
Well, and more to the point, I have not seen video from anybody else that shows he was doing anything other than his job.
Exactly.
So my question is, where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence? Because you can't just be like, I don't like him.
Because that's what it is.
And here's another thing too. I think we really need to remember this. A magistrate judge and a federal appeals panel, not just a judge, a federal appeals panel said, no.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing that, right?
Yeah.
So now Bondi, as is, oh God, can we just have Nuremberg trials already? I mean, goddamn. What? I'm sorry. I was just following orders. They got executed anyway. Because that's not an argument for your I jump ahead. Also, I would like to remind everyone again that Nixon was never prosecuted, but his attorney general was.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna leave that there. Just saying.
I'm just gonna faint real quick, real slow.
I'm just putting my chapstick on. Anyway.
Put your chapstick on, Heather. So
it's dry here. It's snowy and cold. I gotta keep moisturized. Right. Anyway, so I think there's a few levels that we can look at this legally. We also obviously have emotion about it, and I don't think that that's necessarily bad in this instant. But what we can't allow is emotion to overtake logic,
right?
Because what MAGA depends on is emotion. They don't use logic because when you confront them with facts,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, you're a this, you're a that, or they're a this or a that, right? Like
Right.
he's a pedophile.
Right.
Because the logic doesn't hold.
No, it doesn't.
You know, and so they resort to emotion because they don't have anything else to hold on to.
Right. There's nothing. And,
No.
you know, it's the statutes of this particular thing about the church. Because, see, this is what folks keep going back to is these statutes were actually designed to prevent a couple of things: violent attacks on churches and mosques, synagogues, and temples. That's what it was built for: threats, intimidation, or physical obstruction, hate crimes, organized attempts to block people from worship. And none of that happened. They were not created to criminalize journalism. Because, again, we're talking about Don Lemon, okay,
Right.
and what he was doing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's pretty much it on that. And so, Heather, do you have any other words that you want to talk about this? Because I want to dig into a little bit about the historical context of journalism and why this particular administration is so hell bent on keeping those of us who are in journalism quiet.
Well, because democracy dies in the dark.
That
right?
part.
So what journalists do, so we actually had this conversation last night at an event.
We did.
One of our reporters with Racine County Eye published a story about test scores in the district, and that Black students in particular scored 0 on college readiness exams.
Mm-hmm.
And his story is getting a lot of traction. And he's like, how do people not know this? Like, it's been like this for a few years. And I'm like, here's why. We didn't have the bandwidth to cover the school district.
Mm.
And the dying legacy media also is not at the school board meetings like he is.
No.
So when you have someone who is the spotlight, all of a sudden that dark corner becomes illuminated.
Mm.
And that's what journalists do.
Yeah.
Is we seek the dark corners and we shine the light.
Yeah.
That's our whole job.
Yeah.
Is to make sure that you, as a reader, a watcher, a listener, that you have the information you need to make the best decisions that you can make.
That part.
About your vote, your route to fucking work in the morning. Like,
exactly.
What is the weather cooperative? Is whatever, right? Like, that's our whole job. And so what we've done is we've switched to a solutions-based journalism model. So it's not enough to say, oh, Black students scored 0 on college readiness. Now it's about how can we, because we're a member of the community, how can we participate in either changing that criteria? Because why is every student taking a college readiness exam if they are not going to go to college? Maybe they're going into the military or into a trade. Right. Like, those are different sets of critical thinking and deductive reasoning skills, right? Like, into that.
Right.
But how can we be part of the solution so that our students are succeeding no matter what racial or socioeconomic group they fall into?
There you go.
Right? And so that's why, and also I really want to stress, I don't know how to say this any more plainly. Democracy is not a spectator sport.
It is not.
You cannot sit on the sidelines and not participate.
You can't.
And
Absolutely
then have something to say about how things are now all of a sudden affecting you and or the people that you love. Right? That's not acceptable. And the best way for you to participate in democracy is to start at your local level, your school board, your village board, your city common council, your county board, right? And I'm not saying you have to run for office, although that would be terrific.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that you have to pay attention. Most meetings are streamed online. So even if you can't be present, you can participate.
Correct.
Also, you got to support journalism with real dollars.
Yes, you do.
Because the number of disinformation and misinformation sites. I think the last time Paulette and I talked about this, it was like 5-1. And it's gone up now. It's probably like 10-1, probably now. I haven't looked, but I'll look it up when Paulette's talking. And the reason why that's so significant is because anybody can set up a mis or disinformation site and just it's a set it and forget it, right? All this news just keeps coming from disreputable, reputable, it doesn't matter, but nothing is vetted. Nothing is vetted, nothing's confirmed, no sources are checked, none of that. Whereas on real journalism side, you have real people going to meetings, asking questions, making phone calls, making return phone calls, making repeat phone calls. I published a story yesterday. It took me 4 days to write that story because I had to call multiple people.
Yeah.
I had to check multiple sources.
Multiple sources, yes.
Right? And that takes effort. It takes energy. And shockingly enough, we would like to be paid for that work.
That part is true.
So you need to get involved with your local government, because even though all this shit happening on a national level, it does trickle down into your life.
It does.
But the trickle down is much slower than the decisions made on the ground in your community. Those have more of a direct effect on your daily life than anything else.
Absolutely, yes.
That's all.
Absolutely. And to your point, I talk about this often when I was going live regularly, but since the business is growing, I've had to kind of pull back. But here's the thing that I think is so super important that you guys have to remember. Heather hit it on the head. Democracy is not a spectator sport, and we cannot continue to allow this to happen. Now, there are those of you who literally are enjoying every single moment of this. But what you don't understand is that ultimately, when all of this dust settles, the fuck around and find out, we're first of all, those of us who didn't vote for this shit, we're finding out with you. See, that's the other thing that a lot of people don't understand, right? But then also, I mean, it's true. Like, we're sitting here, we're like, well, what the fuck? And then it's what the fuck? Honey, I feel like an owl. My head is constantly on a damn swivel.
I feel like we're watching tennis. We're like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
It's like, what are we doing? And so, it's unfortunately, it's time for each one of us, in the ways that we know how, with what we have, with our talents, our skills, our money, our resources, our communities, our networks, our neighbors and neighborhoods. We have to learn how to get in the game. And it does start, number one, at your local level. But then also, y'all vote. Period. They are on their way to do everything that they can to scare you into not voting. They are trying their best to terrorize us by making people the example and plopping it in the news the way that they are, even though his attorney, Don Lemon's attorney, was the one who kind of announced it, right? And you know that they're going to fight this tooth and nail, and we already know what's going to happen, because just like this, there are other people. Joy Reid's already talking about it. Aaron Parnas is talking about it. We have Jolly Good Ginger. I know he's going to be talking about it, and we're part of that community. And this won't be the last time. You have to get involved. You have to remain involved, and you have to speak up to the atrocities that we're currently seeing across this country that are blatant. This is absolute.
Well, and here's another thing too. I would just like to talk to the white people. Come here. Come closer. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm going to move to the back.
We're holding hands. I'm going to say this. You can't only care when it happens to the right kind of white people. Okay. Last year, ICE killed, like, I don't know what the number was. It's like 30 or 39 people, right? I think maybe 1 or 2 of them was white. They didn't get a whole lot of press, but the others were brown. Okay. This year alone, they've already killed 9 or 10 people.
Yes. That we know of.
The only reason, including an off-duty ICE officer who killed a man on New Year's Eve, who, I mean, you can argue about how smart it is to shoot off a gun on New Year's Eve. I don't know where you live, but that happens all the time in urban environments.
Yes.
Right. I hear gunshots on New Year's Eve almost from the time it gets dark until whenever. Right. That's just celebratory. Nobody's actually shooting anyone.
Correct.
But an off-duty ICE officer killed Mr. Keith. Oh God, why can't I remember his last name? Keith
Porter.
Peter Porter. Thank you. And we haven't really heard anything about that.
Nothing.
Right? But everybody's up in arms because a white woman was killed. And now a white man was killed. And Alex Preddy is probably the closest right kind of white to get people to really like wake the fuck up. So I am holding your hand, white people, when I say this. When they come from the immigrants, I already know what to do because I read the goddamn poem.
Come on. Okay. Yeah. I'm good. You good?
I'll put the poem in the show notes so that y'all know what I'm talking about. But basically, they came for all these people and I did nothing. And then when they came for me, there was nobody to help me.
There was nobody there. And I
don't need that person.
And we're there. But see, here's the thing. We're there.
No, we are there. But I'm saying don't be that person in the moment. Right? Yeah. And don't wait for the moment.
Don't wait for the moment.
We are in the moment. It can't be that you wait until it's right in front of you. We are in the moment. I live in a mostly brown neighborhood. Now it's too cold for a lot of people to go outside. So let's just say that. We're finally above zero today. Yay. I know Paulette's like, I don't miss that shit. But
I don't miss it.
It's just started snowing. Lake effect snow. We know what that's like. But when I shop at Aldi, which is like 4 blocks away. My neighbors shop at Aldi. My head is on a swivel when I pulling into the parking lot. It's on a swivel when I'm walking to the restaurant, the Mexican restaurant across the street. I'm watching because I will be good and goddamn if these masked cosplay wannabe ranger people pull up and fuck with my neighbors. I'm absolutely goddamn not.
No.
Okay, I'm done.
And that's okay, Heather. We understand because I'm with you. And these are the times that I go inside and I say to myself, what do we need to do as a community? Well, we know what Brownstone Worldwide is doing. Okay. Number one, this is the Rivalry Report is a podcast that's on Brownstone Worldwide. So this is going up as soon as we're done. We're currently live. It will be on the Rivalry Report on YouTube. It's already live on YouTube on Brownstone Worldwide right now. There will be a think piece. I'm going to do a think piece. Head on over to, and it's going to be on brownstoneworldwide.com. You can go ahead and check it out there. I'll share it as many places as I possibly can. What you guys need to understand is now they're coming for the journalists. They are coming for the people that are your town criers.
Oh, that's a really good way to put it.
That is a problem. And if you all do not see that, and again, to your point, Heather, a high profile town crier that was very, very vocal in his last year or so being at CNN, he was like, all right, nope, that's not what we're going to do. And eventually it took him to where he is now. I need you all to understand, there are those of us who were built just for a time such as this. And the question that you need to ask yourself as an individual, whether you're in journalism, media, or whatever, is what time were you built for? I'm curious.
Thank you.
What time were you built for? I understand everybody is talking about now. Black folks, come on.
Okay, I'm sitting back on this one.
I need you all to hear me on this one, and some of you all will come for me, and I could care less. Find your space in how you want to live your soft life during this time. You hear me? I say that because we know in this country, what's happening right now is nothing compared to what they would love to see happen in our communities. So when we're talking about, I'm going to sit this one out, we tag. You ain't seen tired yet. Because after a while.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Because, you know, one of my best sister friends, Allison, is a Black woman. And I've seen this posted all the time, like, well, the 92% did their job.
The 92%, we tagged.
But I also saw someone else, and I cannot remember her name, but she's in our circle. She's in our circle. She was like, okay, so we could say those things for a few months, but we can't say those things anymore. Basically, was the message.
Like,
we can't.
We'll have a space for it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: someone just said, "I have no space. I'm surrounded by the people who are cheering." Find you some new spaces.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to find you some new people. Once people show you who you are, who they are, it's time to move around. And absolutely, I understand. Washington Stand Up. I'm doing the same thing for Blue Hair Vixen. I just want you all to understand, Black folks. You have to understand what you're watching. If they doing it to white folks in our face with video, baby, and we've been here before. George Floyd. Let's talk about Sonia Massey. Let's talk about all of the people.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. All of these people.
Philando Castile.
Philando Castile from the same neighborhood.
And let me tell you, yes, for Tyrese West here in Racine. The documentary about his death is being screened. Are you ready for this? I've seen the film twice. Mm-hmm. It is being screened by the Milwaukee Police and Fire Commission next week.
Why?
They want a deeper discussion.
Okay. Well, then they need to be ready to have that fucking discussion.
I'm going to be there. I've seen the film twice. Am I going to go? Absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Have you met me?
Right. Keith Porter, where's the noise? His mother is begging for help. She's literally in California begging for help, and we haven't heard enough. They just buried him. His family, his father actually follows Brownstone Worldwide, and I saw the video of his body being placed in the mausoleum. And his family there, and it's heart.
Oh my God. His daughter made a video on TikTok.
His daughter made a video.
Viral, millions of views. Listen, this man worked hard. He had daughters. He had a 20-year-old and a 10-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
The 20-year-old's in a point in her life where her dad is really going to make a difference. And her 10-year-old daughter, or his 10-year-old daughter, is at a point in her life where her ability to form relationships with men was being formed largely right now in her life with her relationship with her dad. By all accounts, Keith Porter was an amazing human being. He just happened to have a gun shooting it off on New Year's Eve. Yep. I don't understand why. Well, I do. I'm not going to act like I'm naive. He's a Black man in America, so why fucking pay attention?
Yeah, and that's it. And that is why, to my point, we have to find our ways to protect our peace and understand. Yeah. Number one, this is just a different, where we currently are in my brain. I'm thinking about the civil rights movement. Would you give your seat up? Would you sit still? You said, because I've been in those conversations about what you said that you wouldn't do if it were you, if you were living during that time. Well, baby, it's that time. Okay. That's all it's time. It's like, it's right here. It's in your face. What are you going to do? I am not inciting violence. I am not inciting any. I need you to put your thinking caps on. We are headed into the midterms. Number one, you are not. Can I call them out? I'm calling folks out.
I'm just gonna go this way.
Okay, y'all not. Big Mama has entered the room. Y'all not involved in your communities, and you are the biggest jokers to complain. I'm talking to everybody now. You're the biggest jokers to complain. You don't know what your board of commissioners are doing. You don't go to city council meetings, yet you are the biggest ones to complain about what they're doing with your tax dollars. You don't even know what house bills are happening in your freaking state per state. Do you? You haven't looked at congress.gov and I don't know how long, if ever. You don't know what the Constitution says, at least for the first 5 amendments. You couldn't tell me. That's a problem.
I'm sorry. But this goes back. That's just not about Black folks, though.
It's everybody. That's why I said I'm talking to everybody.
Okay, yeah, because here's the thing. And it goes back to what Paulette and I discussed during our first episode. Yes, our first episode. Yep. Civil illiteracy in this country is at an all-time high. 66% of Americans across color and socioeconomic lines cannot say how many Supreme Court justices we have or name the 3 branches of government.
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, what? And a full quarter, it may be a third, I forget what the new number is, because they've updated it, are functionally illiterate. Adults in this country can't fucking read.
Yep.
So if you can't read, you can't digest the information. I'm sorry, audiobooks aren't going to do it. You got to actually read.
You got to read it and comprehend it. It's more than just reading it.
Yeah, you got to comprehend
what the hell you read. What is it? Yeah. So how do you know the?
I'm sorry. No, I heard Walter make a noise, and I was like, sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. So Civics 101 for adults should be a thing. And it's all, I'm saying this to everybody now, not just the Black folks, but I'm just telling you because I'm just going to slightly put my business out there. I see the local government here and the hard work that they put in, right? And at the same token, I read on my county government social media page how people are literally furious about stuff that they don't even know or understand how it works. You don't show up for your school superintendent meetings. You don't know what's going on. You don't know why things are happening you don't even know what the budget is, but you know what, that information is readily available to all of y'all.
And honestly, I absolutely agree. Because even anecdotally, if you're not looking at the budget, you can see what gets funded and what doesn't get funded, right?
Yep.
So I get that, because if you really want to know what a community, a region, or a state, or as a country values, you look at the budget. How much is going to education? How much is going to mental health? How are people being supported in healthcare? Yep. How are we treating our infrastructure like roads and bridges? Because we all know what happened in Minnesota when that bridge went, right? Yep. So these are the things that you really need to know. How are you informed about where the money is being spent? And you can't just show up when it's in your backyard, right? No. You can't just, like, people, I'm going to use Mount Pleasant as an example. People were like, well, whatever. And then Foxconn said they were coming and they were like, oh shit, what now, right? Like, okay, Foxconn didn't work out. It is the largest failed U.S. development in U.S. history. Here in Wisconsin, yay. Then Microsoft swoops in and saves the day. And now people are like, I don't want this big ass data center across. It's like,
right. Too late.
Where were you in 2016, 2017, 2018? Right. Where were you?
Where were you? Absolutely. Where were you?
And now these, like, this is like hundreds of acres that Microsoft has that's going to be a data center, centers, right?
Yep.
They're building the world's biggest AI supercomputer.
Correct.
Yes. In Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin.
That is horrifying.
It's actually not. And we can go into that a different time. I have facts. I know people are like, oh my God. But honestly, what's the biggest farce right now, and I need people to understand this so that you understand how important it is to know what's going on at your state level.
Right.
A bunch of Republican Assembly representatives here in Wisconsin have put forward a bill, including one who represents part of Racine County, that says, what are we calling, like, solar panels and wind power? Is that alternative energy, green energy? Green energy.
Yeah, it's green energy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any green energy things that a data center company is doing has to be located on the campus where the data center exists. I'm going to tell you why that's dumb. Number one, Microsoft is building a big ass solar panel farm in a different county that's going to help power the data centers here in Racine County. Okay.
Agreed.
Why would you?
Yeah.
Number two, technology continues, as we know, to evolve.
Literally.
Microsoft, now, somewhere where it's like hot and maybe not as humid, like Arizona or something like that, right? This type of technology might not work there. But here, if the temperature is higher than 85, that's when they're going to need more, like, water to cool.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there's only probably about Well, it depends on how much the lake freezes. This year, I think Lake Michigan is freezing a lot. We can go into the science of that at a different time. Here in Southeast Wisconsin, the temperature is above 85 for maybe 60 days a year. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have a high ass humidity though. So they have some technology that pulls the moisture in from the air to cool the systems, which leaves Lake Michigan alone. Either way, Microsoft is trying hard to be a transparently good neighbor about all of this. And I'm in contact with their spokesperson all the time about, I need to know, I need a source where I can measure what you're saying is true. That's where journalism comes in.
That's where journalism comes in, folks. And without that information, these companies, your government, the people that you voted in and trusted with your tax dollars, that's paying their bills so they can live fat while you are trying to figure out how A and B gonna equal C and they just waving at each other. You have trusted these people with your tax dollars and your vote to do their job. And now they're telling you to your face by taking away the last portion. That's what they're trying to do. This final wall of people that are going to keep things transparent and open to you. They're trying to show you that we can control them too. We're going to make him bend the knee. Because let's talk about mainstream media. Let's talk about that just for a moment and where we currently are.
Sellouts. Sorry.
Well, they are. They're complete sellouts. Let's just call it what it is.
And here's the thing. I support journalism in a variety of ways with my money, right? Yeah. So I'm paid to be a journalist and I'm supporting other journalists. I subscribe to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. I don't have a lot of time to actually read it, but I do it because our local journalists are doing the same important work that we're doing down in Racine County. Number two, I was subscribing to Time Magazine. I canceled my subscription, not because I don't want to support them, the journalists themselves. Do you know why I canceled my subscription?
Why?
Because they bent the knee.
They bent the knee. Sounds like what happened when Hulu and Disney did what they did.
Which is why I canceled my subscription to Paramount Plus. I canceled my Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus subscriptions. I canceled them. I'm not supporting that. I am not supporting that. I know I also canceled my TikTok account. Now people might be like, I don't know why, this doesn't matter. They keep all your stuff anyway. Yeah, you know what? You're right. They do. But there are a couple of things that seemed a bridge too far. And Paulette knows I struggled with the cancel of TikTok because I love TikTok. I'm entertained. I learn things. I share 11 videos with Paulette every day.
Right. That's okay. That's okay. It's all good.
Some fun, some not. I struggled with it, but there were a couple of things that were just a bridge too far. The censorship is one. That's a big one for me. As a journalist, that is a big one for me. Number two, the terms and conditions that they said they could use your likeness, your content, your voice, whatever, in perpetuity, and that they could access your contacts even if your contacts aren't on TikTok. I'm like, that is an invasion of privacy for people who haven't given their permission. It's one thing for me to be like, yeah, do whatever you want with my stuff.
Right.
Because I'm saying I want to be on this platform. But for you to do that to people who have not also given that access, like that, those to me were bridges too far.
Right. Right.
For me.
Right.
But but corporate media is not making, I feel like they're not doing that, like weighing of the things, right? Time Magazine published a picture of Trump that was taken from like this angle where it looked like he had
which he does.
Yeah, I was going to use a bad word. But
the little giblets.
Huh?
Here, the little giblet.
That's not the word I was going to use.
I know. Because I know what it looked like to me too.
Right?
But,
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, they used that picture and then they changed it because of pressure from the Trump administration. I was like, I can't. I can't.
Exactly.
So as much as I want to support journalism with my dollars and put my money where my mouth is, I couldn't do it anymore. And that's okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Because mine, I looked at it from another perspective. One of the biggest reasons why I made a decision to remain on TikTok is, number one, there are people that are very clear by sending me messages. You're the only person that I trust with certain pieces of news or information. And then the big one for me was, and I read it, I broke it down and I said, see, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. And then I said, you know what? Regardless, I am not beholden to any specific social media platform. I don't trust none of them. Let's put that for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but I don't trust any of them. But again, my voice is being heard in places otherwise it would not. And as a person who is building out media and doing all of these things independently and pulling herself up literally, hell, I ain't even got the boots. I'm just on here. I'm just creating the boots as I go along. You know what I mean? I'm just flying. And so I stay, number one, it's a blessing and a curse, right, Cody? So I think for me, and then I also looked at how much money that these people realized the platform was making. They will not always be in this position. I need you all to also understand that. So start moving around and following us on different platforms as well. Yeah. But I also need you all to understand the billions of dollars that they put into this thing right here. What are they expecting in ROI? So when I looked at it from that perspective, I thought to myself, sit your ass still, Paulette, and don't move. Okay. And that was a business decision that I made. I had to get out my feelings just for a minute and say, these people, because see, when you look at the amount of things that these companies own collectively, I said, they're in this because this is what they do. Well, what do? I do news. Yeah. And I use the platforms to provide you with news and information that you can use, and also to continue to help you to understand that you can find me other places as well, with other services and with other people like Heather. You guys have met Heather that didn't know about Heather until we went live a couple times before on TikTok. So I had to look at it from that perspective. If they're looking for an ROI, then that means that they're going to set it up to be a success. And I plan on being a part of that for Brownstone. Follow me. So you have to make a decision on what works for you, right? And at the same token, there's still some people that are on here that I definitely need to remain connected with, like the wonderful journalist that's still in Gaza right now. And they banned her TikTok account, and so much stink was made about it that they gave her account back.
Well, and so that's what I mean by the censorship. If you were truly interested in being a platform for the people, by the people, kind of like the government, right? In a way. Yeah. What are you? Never mind. That's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, back to corporate media. But TikTok, I guess, is part of corporate media in a way.
It is. It's media. That's what it is.
And, I think we all have to make our own decisions. But when so many people are like, how did we get here? How did we get here? And I used to make kind of a joke, like, I'll give you the alphabet soup of reasons: ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox, right? Like MSNBC. They were all complicit in giving Trump attention in the 2016
that he did not deserve.
They made him relevant.
That part.
Okay? They made him relevant. So that's part of how we got here. The other way of how we got here is that I think we really need, okay, I'm gonna hold everyone's hand right now. America has always been a fascist country run by an oligarchy. Always.
Some of y'all not ready for that conversation.
Maybe straight white men and the white women that they think are whatever, we're supposed to be some weird protected class. America has not been fascist. But for anybody who doesn't fit in one of those two categories, and even for white women, but most white women are too dumb to know that holding up the white male patriarchy of America is fucking them up too. Yeah. But black and brown people in this country, America has always been a fascist country for them.
Yep.
Always. So how did we get here? We've always been here. Number one, always been here, but now the light shining is much brighter and much bigger.
Yeah.
Right? Because now white people are being affected in ways that were unexpected, but could be predictable because I don't know what you thought, putting hastily hired, poorly trained cosplay soldiers in the fucking street.
Say it again. That are literally being overheard saying, this is like Call of Duty.
Call of Duty after they killed Alex Pretty. This was Call of Duty. That was cool. You killed a man.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
Oh my God.
What the hey, you just I was not ready.
I sat there. I had to press what?
That's what, yeah.
So all of what's happening now was actually quite predictable. But the way that it has come about potentially was not predictable, but probably should have been as soon as Trump was given the relevance that the corporate media gave him back in 2015. Right? Had he been dismissed as unserious, we might not be in this situation now. We might have let the illusion continue for a few more years. And maybe this is the wake-up call that we all needed. And I'm talking about white people mostly, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this is that illusion, that breaking the illusion is what we needed right now. Because what I am hopeful for is that when we come out of this, and we will, that we can not go back to normal, but that we can rebuild something better, more equitable, and more inclusive.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm hopeful for. And I think the young people that are seeing what's happening and they are like, absolutely not, right? I really believe that they're going to carry that wave forward.
Yeah. I do. I'm in 100% agreement. I've said this often for those of you all who are watching on TikTok right now. One of the things that I say often is I'm glad that this happened. I don't like what's happening, but I'm glad that it did because number one, your eyes are open now, aren't they? We are never, ever, ever, let's be clear, 100%. We are never, ever, ever going to say that everything that Barack Obama or Joe Biden did was correct. Let's be 100% correct, clear on that. Let's also be clear on another thing is that I literally know that they called Barack Obama the deporter in chief. Okay.
He deported so many people.
So many in his 8 years.
The difference.
Talk about it.
They were targeted. There were reasons that they were deported, not just like a woman goes out to start her car because it's butt ass cold in Minneapolis. Her kids are in the house and they scoop her up.
Yeah.
And so now she's like, can somebody take care of my kids?
Right. And there's nobody there. And again, there was no, again, to your point, Cody, you are correct. And I know we have to start wrapping this up. But the one thing that I know is there has been no due process. Y'all just picking up people. But see, therein lies something that we've been talking about here. We're definitely going to be talking about GeoCorp and Core Civic and how they are very deep. And all of the companies that are a part of this foolery all the way around, which is the reason why this is happening. But nobody wants to have that conversation, right? But I am. I've been just digging and digging
about it.
Yeah.
And, and everybody was up in arms a few days ago when 5-year-old Liam was kidnapped with his father.
Yeah.
And when there were headlines yesterday that Liam is sick.
Yeah.
Because he's being held in a detention center that doesn't have proper plumbing.
Food.
There's no ventilation. They're not getting fed properly. They're not. I mean, he's 5.
And he's not the only little one there either.
He's not the only. He's just the one who's getting the most attention right now.
Because they saw it. And Jasmine Crockett and another congressperson had an opportunity to go and see him. And they're trying to play cleanup with it. But at the same token, this exact same facility had women and children in a large courtyard area of this concentration camp, because y'all, that's what it is, screaming and yelling, they need help. Help us, help us, help us. And they have been on lockdown ever since.
Yeah, because they had the temerity to ask for help.
To ask for help.
Yep. How dare them?
Yeah. But y'all, we're going to stay on top of this story on Don Lemon and definitely be on the lookout. I'm going to be doing my piece here shortly. And I'm also going to come back and we're going to break down some of what we just talked about a little bit further. And I'll be sharing that all over the place. Again, Heather, where can these folks find you?
So I'm on Substack. Heather Asiyanbi on Substack. It's pretty simple. I am no longer on TikTok, but I don't know. I post a lot of foolishness on Facebook and Instagram. It's not like super serious stuff, but you can also find, if you're interested in hyperlocal news and the way we cover it, you can find us at RacineCountyEye.com. RacineCountyEye.com. You can definitely check her out there. And for myself, you guys know where you can find me. And that is Paulette on the mic on TikTok and also on Upscroll. You need to definitely check that one out because I was going to ask you about that. We can talk about that offline, but yeah.
Yeah. So Upscroll, I'm over there. I'm also on Fanbase. You guys know that. I'm pretty much everywhere. And then Brownstone Worldwide, you can find us there. All you got to do is just search Brownstone Worldwide. We pop up.
And also you can find us on YouTube at The Rivalry Report.
Rivalry Report. Yeah.
Which is
8688. Yeah. The year we graduated. So to lighten the load just a little bit. Yeah. So Heather and I went to rival high schools in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She went to Rufus King High. I went to Riverside University.
Generals for life. It's not just a hashtag. I mean, and Paulette knows she's commented before, like, I cannot believe y'all still keep in touch the way that you do. I'm like,
but we do too. Like most of the people that I graduated with left the city. Let's talk about that.
I mean, a lot of our people left the city too. That doesn't mean we're not still tight and close.
Right. Okay. I'll give you that. But you know what? The cool thing is outside of all of that, one thing that we knew about both of our high schools is they were college prep schools.
Yep.
And all of us kind of knew each other regardless.
We did.
Right. So that was the cool part. So that's how we got the name of the podcast show, The Rivalry Report. All right, folks, we got to get up out of here. I know Heather has a ton of stuff to do. I have stuff to do. Listen, for more news and information that you can always use, head on over to brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and you guessed it, Brownstone Living Magazine for the month of February. March Together is going to be dropping mid-February, so be on the lookout for.
Oh, and our cover person is Kwabena Antoine Nixon, who is an amazing person here in Milwaukee. He does a lot of work with young Black men and fathers, specifically because he doesn't want to see anybody end up the way most of his friends have ended up.
And that's amazing.
He's amazing. He's a poet. He's inspiration. He is. His programs really are love. They're love. They're love in action. And yeah, I can't wait for everybody to read about him.
That's excellent. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here. I have a business to run, and so do you, Heather. All right, you guys, we'll see you later on this afternoon for more news and information that you can use. We'll see you around.